Assalamualaikum Doctor, my name is Nurfika Hanis binti Mustafa Kamal. My metric number is 280110. So this project aims first to facilitate student understanding of how the Malaysian Financial Reporting Standards, disclosure of MFRS 108, MFRS 110, MFRS 116 and MFRS 136 apply in Malaysian listed companies. From Bursa Malaysia, we choose 5 annual report of 5 companies that I already listed in this slide. Next, I will present to you disclosure of MFRS 108. For the Bumi Armada Berhad Company, the most frequently reported policy changes is MFRS 128, investment in associates and joint venture, and MFRS 9, financial instrument that reported in the year 2018 and 2019. For the SYF Resources Berhad, in the year 2018, have adoption of MFRS 15, revenue from contract with customer, and in the year 2020, have adoption of MFRS 16, leases. Result of the adoption of MFRS 16, the existing requirement for a lease to distinguish between the finance leases and operating leases under the MFRS 117 leases are no longer required. Continue with the Luster Industry Berhad Company. All policy changes reported in this company are different each year except for MFRS 9 financial instrument that are reported in all 3 years. Next, for the Haytech Padu Berhad Company, in the year 2019, the company have adopted of MFRS 16 leases. Company elects to apply MFRS 16 retrospectively. As a lessor, there is no impact on the financial statement of the company. Lastly, for the Unimed Group Berhad Company, in the year 2018, have an adoption of MFRS 9 and MFRS 15. Year 2019, adoption of MFRS 16 lease, and for the year 2020, have an adoption of amendment to MFRS. The adoption of the amendment to MFRS did not have any significant impact on the financial statement of the company. I think that's all from my part. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lim Ming Chen and my metric number is 280142. Today I would like to present MFRS 110, Events After Reporting. MFRS 110, events after the reporting period are those events, favorable and unfavorable, that occur between the end of the reporting period and the date when the financial statements are authorized for issue. An entity shall disclose the date when the financial statements were authorized for issue and who gave that authorization. If the entity's owners or others have the power to amend the financial statements after issue, the entity shall disclose that fact. If an entity receives information after the reporting period about conditions that existed at the end of the reporting period, it shall update disclosures that relate to those conditions in the light of the new information. The tables show the disclosure of MFRS 110 of each company from the year 2018 until 2020. Overall, we can clearly see that every company have disclosed all the events after reporting period in the notes to financial statements. That's all from me. Thank you.
Based on our findings, all of the 5 selected companies apply the cost model to measure the property, plant, and equipment after the initial measurement. In our opinion, the cost model is preferred because it is simple to compute and requires the least effort. Thus, the cost model did not cost a lot of time, manpower, and money. Besides, the valuation is carried only once, so companies can avoid regular interval revaluation. Under cost model, class of asset is not affected. There will be no bias in valuation as the cost of a non-current asset is readily available. Moreover, all the selected companies use the straight line method to depreciate their PPE from 2018 to 2020. It is calculated by dividing the difference between an asset's cost and its expected salvage value by the number of years it is expected to be used. Straight line method is chosen by the selected companies because it is the most straightforward and easiest method for calculating the depreciation among other methods. Reduced sales, supply chain disruption, customer cancellation, the need to make significant concessions to customers, and important customer-facing financial challenges are all indicators that the current amount of PPE may not be recoverable because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Furthermore, due to stock market price reduction, and entities carrying amount of net asset may surpass the market capitalization. This situation is a further indicator of impairment. However, there is no significant difference in the impairment losses disclosed by the selected companies before and during COVID-19. All the selected companies did not experience a significant increase in impairment losses during COVID-19. In fact, 3 of them did not report any impairment loss, and 1 of them reversed the impairment loss in 2020. This means that the industry of the selected companies are not affected by impacts of COVID-19 that led to asset impairment.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Wafika binti Razali. My metric number is 280288. So in this video, I will present on key audit matters. Firstly is Bumi Armada Berhad. There are 9 key audit matters. Firstly is impact of the signing of Amendment Agreement 2 on the Armada Kraken FPSO. Secondly is liquidity position. Thirdly is assessment of recoverability of amount due from subsidiaries and cost of investment in subsidiaries. And this is another 6 of key audit matters of Bumi Armada Berhad. Next is SYF Resources Berhad. There are 3 key audit matters. Firstly is inventories valuation. Secondly, carrying amount of land and property development, cost and revenue recognition. Thirdly, in year 2019, purchase price allocation for the acquisition of Gia Armada Sdn Berhad and carrying amount of intangible assets and bargain purchase gain arising from purchase price allocation. Next, Luster Industry Berhad. There are 3 key audit matters. Firstly, goodwill impairment assessment. Secondly, valuation of inventories. Thirdly is impairment of trade receivables. Next is Hitech Padu Berhad. There are 2 key audit matters. Firstly, revenue recognition. Secondly is impairment of intangible assets and property, plant and equipment. Next is Unimed Group Berhad. There are 2 key audit matters. Firstly, inventory valuation. Secondly, impairment of trade receivables.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Anurdini binti Wanizani 2020 would like to present about financial analysis. The ratio that we choose is profitability ratio. Therefore, ROA was chosen because we can see how efficient the company gain profit from manage the asset. A higher ROA, more efficient the group manage the asset. So based on table 1, most of the company is having positive ROA and it is good on how they generate profit from asset. While negative ROA means the company cannot utilize the assets to gain profit. SYF shows in 2019 was the lowest ROA due to COVID-19 outbreak. While ROE is how company generate profit from equity, Hitech Padu Berhad had the highest ROE in 2020, while Bumi Armada Berhad is the lowest ROE in 2018. Even though Bumi Armada had the lowest ROE in 2018, the group made a comeback and managed to get a positive ROE in 2019, also keep increasing in 2020. It shows that COVID-19 does not affect the financial group. Luster Industry Berhad also in a good situation of ROE, even though there are a fluctuation within the year. EPS is another ratio that under profitability ratio it is calculated to know how many every shareholder will get in the end of the year. Hitech Padu Berhad and Bumi Armada shows increasing trend even from negative EPS in 2018. They successfully increasing their net income and the result is positive in 2019 and 2020. COVID-19 does not affect the company to generate the profit. Luster Industry is decreasing from year to year and it will give lower return to shareholder. COVID-19 was disturbing Luster Industry Berhad performance because some of construction project they needs to extend the time. ROCE is the ratio to calculate profitability from capital employed. This ratio is the best profitability ratio because it is considered long-term financing and is better than ROE. Based on figure 4, Unimed has the highest ROCE even though overall within 3 years the company shows decreasing trend. Even the company shows decreasing trend, but overall within 3 years there are positive ROCE and it is good because they are still in the track. So compared to other company, Unimed is the best of ROCE and investor can invest in the company. Last but not least is ROIC. ROIC is a subset of capital employed. Therefore, ROIC is similar with ROCE. Difference between these two ratios is ROCE is using EBIT, while ROIC using net income. Based on figure 5, Luster Industries Berhad and Unimed Group Berhad are companies that have a positive ROIC within 3 years. Even though Luster Industry Berhad in a positive sign, the trend from 2018 to 2019 is decreasing. The reason why the trend is decreasing because in 2019, it is affected because of pandemic COVID-19, while in 2020 the group issued a new ordinary share and entered sale and purchase agreement. Therefore, their net income also keep decreasing because during that session, their financial still unstable. That's all.
In conclusion, we are able to understand and identify events after the reporting period for each company in accordance to MFRS 110 and evaluate the disclosure of MFRS 108. We are also able to review the key audit matters for each company, which mostly the key audit matters consist of impairment, property, plant and equipment, and inventories valuation. This project also enables us to evaluate the disclosure of MFRS 116 and MFRS 136 and analyze the company's financial performance through the ratio of ROA, ROE, EPS, ROCE, and ROIC.